Welcome to Runs, Hits, Aaron, the Pittsburg Diamonds pregame show. Here for game 2 of the 3-game set against Sonoma. And you can take out whatever cliche you want to use. Your back's against the wall. There's no tomorrow. Whatever you want to say. That's the situation the Diamonds are in tonight. They cannot lose another game this season if they want to be the first half champions of the Pacific Association. Tonight, of course, on Runs, Hits, Aaron, we talked to Aaron Miles, the manager of the Pittsburg Diamonds. And Aaron, what do you have to say about that situation?
Well, I'm going to just say all we got to do is do the exact same thing we did last week, which was lose the first game of the week and then win 5 in a row. So we did it last week. We can do it this week. We have the starting pitching to do that. We just got to play a slightly better game than we did last night. Obviously, last night we couldn't push one across, and you can't win a ball game without doing that. But we're doing everything else we need to do to be the team that can win this and take it. So if we get good starting pitching every single day and we can get the timely hitting, I think we can make it interesting. And it starts with today with a good pitcher on the mound, Travis Blackley.
It was interesting last night. It was more than interesting in the ninth inning when you had runners at second and third. You're down by 1 run, the tying run at third, the winning run at second base, and even a chopper that looked like it might cause problems. And then yet Maura Laura made a good play and threw the batter out. We look back on that game, any changes you would have made, any differences, or is it just a matter of good pitching against good pitching?
There's nothing I really would have done. Maybe be a little more aggressive and try to steal a base here and there, but, Taylor Thurber's pretty quick to the plate, and Isaac Weinrich's one of the best catchers in the league, is the best catcher in the league. He's great at throwing runners out, and, Garcia got on to lead the game off of. We thought about letting him take a base, but then, Wallace hits into a double play. We really didn't have much opportunities. We had second and third, or first and second, middle part of the game with Marty Carrenia coming up, and I like to let him swing the bat. He hit a good shot in the left field. They caught it. Bautista struck out, and they got out of the inning. Could have maybe bunted there, but it's too early for me to give up that run. And with Marty Carrenia, who's a 300 hitter, I hate to give them that out. So. Those are all hindsight, being that we pitched a great game. We didn't come through. We had a couple chances, but you have to tip the cap to the other team for pitching the way that they did and playing defense the way they did. They played a hell of a game, and they deserve the win.
So tonight, with no tomorrow, as they say, what about sending those runners and stuff? Do you think it'll change, or is it still play by play?
Well, I'm going to play the game the way I see it. It's always, you always take into consideration who's coming up, what their pitcher looks like, and you weigh your options. Obviously, there is no tomorrow, so we'll see. I tend to think that I'll just play the game the way I usually do it, and sometimes I get a little more aggressive on the bases than other days, and we'll see how the game presents itself as we're playing it today.
High pressure situation, and you certainly have the person who you would want to have, I guess, in this high pressure situation, man with major league experience, Travis Blackley.
Well, he's a heck of a pitcher. I've been talking to him all day today during BP, and he's got plenty of stories of big games, and he's a gamer. He's a professional, consummate professional who's, proved that he can do it time and time again. He's in great shape. He pitched a really tough game a week ago and didn't give up a run. And he's ready to go. He's excited. He's loving the fact that he can be somebody, somewhat of a teacher to some of our young guys, and love to play the game and pitch like he does. So we're looking for him to, even this series up for us right now and get us one step closer to that first half championship.
We've talked a little bit about managing style in the past, I guess not directly, but little parts of it that go along managing the players, and especially heat involved and that type of thing. Who was the best manager you played under?
Well, man, I played for some good ones, but I guess I got to start with Tony La Russa. So, that's I'm always going to defer to that. He's a future Hall of Fame manager. Lou Piniella played for another great one. Clint Hurdle was great. Jerry Manuel. Don Mattingly, I thought, did a heck of a job for us with the Dodgers, and he's continuing his career.
I think of Tony La Russa as kind of the original manager who kind of led baseball into the statistics age. Is that fair? Is he the one who first poured over the statistics and kind of helped them lead the way?
Well, he was one of the guys that first was big with the bullpen matchups, I would say. So, if you want to say that there was, statistics involved in that, they do it right. Nowadays, all the stats are one click away on a computer. Tony La Russa grew up with huge binders this big. So him and Dave Duncan have just stacks of books on scouting reports of guys and at bats, and they kept those things around. Somebody maybe turned those into DVDs or something, or CD-ROMs. I don't know if they did or not, but he's a guy, very intellectual guy, a lawyer, lifetime baseball guy that played the game with hunches and played the game with stats, and he, the best of both worlds.
So how much does that play in your managing this team? Do you pour over stats? Are those important to you? Or?
I pour over the stats. I'm on the website of the league, and I look at the personnel. A lot of it is go by what I see, but the stats don't lie. So we try to pay attention to the guys who run a lot. If there's anybody in their bullpen who doesn't really throw a lot of strikes, so that's what we try to do, and create a game plan with it.
I know two things you talked about coming into the Sonoma series last time. Is that one was you wanted to keep the Sonoma runners close to the base, and your pitchers were told to keep an eye on the runners and let them know that they knew that they were there. From my own perspective, watching the game, they have done that. They have thrown a lot with the runner on base to the bag, and has it made the difference you wanted?
100%. Our guys have done a great job holding runners. They've done, it's been something that we've had to get better at, and now that the league a little bit better, there's a stat line to go by. The guys that you need to keep close and the guys that you don't have to pay as much attention to, and we've done a great job this series and in the previous series in Sonoma of controlling it. Hopefully we continue that today. Travis Blackley is probably one of the best holding runners and picking guys off pitchers in the history of professional baseball. So we should have no problem doing that tonight, and hopefully we can continue that, because that goes a long way in beating this team over here.
And those are two different talents right there. I mean, to pick off a runner means you have to have a really quick move usually and throw the ball accurately and quickly and hard, and to get it over there in time to pick somebody off, which is different from just being aware that he's there and making sure he knows you're there and keeping him close otherwise.
Well, I think deception is probably the biggest thing. You want something that looks very similar to when you're delivering the ball home. That, and obviously quickness too, if that's the type of move that you do, quickness. But sometimes it's just the deceiving part, is looking exactly like you're going to when you're throwing home, and all of a sudden you come over. And I think the guy tonight, Travis Blackley, is somebody who's mastered that, and that's why he's picked off over 200 people in his career, which is, I don't know, that might be some crazy record that's about one a game for his whole career.
Wow.
Which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Look forward to it tonight. If anybody gets on, then there's a good chance he's going to pick somebody off.
Well, this is it. It's not the final game, but the first game of the rest of your life, as they say. You got 5 games left in your life. Hopefully you get all 5.
Well, we need all 5 for this first half, but regardless, we feel good about our chances going forward. Obviously, Sonoma did a heck of a job setting themselves up to be in the position that they are in. We came on strong in the end, and we feel good about where we're at as a ball club moving forward. Hopefully we can end strong with this first half and push it to that next series and win these 2 here and take it to Sonoma with a chance to sweep them and take the crown.
Great. Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck tonight. That is Runs, Hits, Errands for today. Our discussion with the manager of the Pittsburgh Diamonds. And we are getting ready for Game 2 of this 3-game series. The Diamonds are in a situation where they have to win all 5 of the games remaining in this season, this first half of the season, for them to be first half Pacific Association champions. And we'll be underway with Game 1 of those 5 coming up right next. I need to. Welcome to tonight's baseball game from Winter Chevrolet Stadium in Pittsburg, California. It's the Diamonds and the Sonoma Stompers in Game 2 of this series, which has championship implications all over it. Much more for Sonoma tonight than for Pittsburgh. The Stompers won last night 1-0. A game they won because of a home run in the first inning from Joel Carranza that stood up the entire game, even though the Stompers have the Diamonds have one of the strongest lineups in the league. They could not get a run across the plate. They lost in a shutout, 1-0, and that has serious implications for the season because Sonoma comes in tonight's game. They need to win only one of the remaining 5 they have against the Diamonds before the first half of the season is over, and they will be the champions of the first half of the season for the Pacific Association. For the Diamonds, that means they have to win all 5. They have to, from here on to the end of the season, sweep the Stompers, 2 here in Pittsburgh, 3 in Sonoma, and that is a tall order. But as Aaron Miles said, well, we just finished a 5-game winning streak. Why can't we start another? So here we go tonight from Winter Chevrolet Stadium. It'll be an interesting game. Travis Blackley is going to be pitching for the Diamonds. Travis, in his second start of the season, he pitched last week in Sonoma and was not part of the decision, but he pitched 5 shutout innings for the Diamonds. He was in serious trouble through much of the game, but he did not allow anybody to cross the plate. That kept the Diamonds in a game that they would win 1 week ago tonight and start their 5-game winning streak. So he's got some good luck going with him and some good pitching behind him. A former major leaguer. He certainly got the attention of manager Aaron Miles, who's very excited and happy to have him on the staff here. He says that experience is going to rub off on the rest of the team. And Blackley, who has played for 6 or 7 major league teams, started in the majors in 2009 with the Seattle Mariners, has played for a number of ball clubs, and then has now starting his return to the major leagues with his time on the mound for the Pittsburgh Diamonds. He's here largely because he lives in Brentwood, and he's here because he's a major league baseball player, but also he lives in Brentwood, and so he is interested in and available to the Pittsburgh Diamonds, and that's where he is right now. The Diamonds have a new player that added to their lineup today, and he will be on the field tonight as they will not be. That's an interesting difference about baseball today. But he will not be on the field, to be perfectly honest. He'll be the designated hitter, so he will be in the lineup. His name is B.J. Quinn. He played last year here for the Diamonds, hitting almost 400, then went to the American Association. Now he is back here, and he will be in his first game for the Pittsburgh tonight. He'll be batting right behind Vinny Galletti, and that is a serious position, obviously, because Galletti, the Diamonds' best hitter, the league's best hitter, continuing to lead the league in hitting. You need someone behind him who can hit well, and that means if you've got that they have to pitch to Galletti instead of thinking they'll walk him and just go to the next batter and get an easy out. B.J. Quinn given that responsibility in his first game back here with the Diamonds tonight. The Diamonds are 4 games out officially. 4 games out of first place with 5 to play. Like we said, there's one more game here tomorrow night at 6:30. Come join us if you can. If you can't, tomorrow night will be available on Mixler.com via the team's website, DiamondsProBall.com. Or you can get a hold of us. And right now, if you're listening to us, you can also watch us on BayAreaSports.tv. And we will be live with the game tomorrow night. It'll be streaming on BayAreaSports.tv at 6:30. And then we'll go to Sonoma on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And to be perfectly honest, if the Diamonds win here tonight and tomorrow, and that means that they are still in the race, then BayAreaSports.tv will join the team on the road to Sonoma, and you'll be able to get the games on Friday and on Friday night at least on both BayAreaSports.tv and Mixler.com, the internet radio service. We are getting the starting lineups here tonight, and we're getting the starting lineups handed to the man. You can see the umpires at home plate. Tayasha Aaron Miles, the manager for the Diamonds. Takashi Miyoshi, the manager for the Sonoma Stompers. And again, we'll have 3 umpires tonight, as we had last night, which is a one more than we usually have in Pacific Association play. We'll have 1 down each foul line and 1 behind home plate. And then, of course, when you get runners, they sometimes change their positions. So we'll see how that goes tonight. There were no controversial calls of any great import last night. It was flat out good pitching. The Diamonds got a couple of threats, and they ended the game in a very frustrating fashion. They had, in the ninth inning, with one out, both Galletti and Calderon got hits and were standing at first and second. Then a ground ball by Marty Carrena had him thrown out at first with the runners moving up to second and third. So then with two outs, the Diamonds had runners at third and second. They're down by one run, and they could not get the runners home from third or second. A ground ball down the third base line. Mauro Laura made a good play, a big chopper, and he came and got it. Threw out Bautista at first base, and that was it for the Diamonds last night. Now they come in here. This is their last best hope. to put it clearly, they have to win. They have to win all 5 games left, and they're quite aware of that situation. And we'll see if they can start a new 5-game winning streak tonight. It's a warm, sunny, lovely night here in Pittsburgh. The sun's shining brightly, as it always is. And life is good. Life is good in Pittsburgh, where the Bay Area ends and the Delta begins. We've completed our handing in of the lineups, and they talk over the ground rules, etc. there. Ricardo Rodriguez will be the home plate umpire.
Third base,
Danny Speck at third base.
and first base, Dean Petit.
And Dean Petit will be at first base. Ricardo Rodriguez behind the plate. And he's getting some new balls from Ron Perkins, the pitching coach of the Diamonds. Unlike football, you don't have to check to see if they're fully inflated. If you're playing the New England Patriots, you might check those baseballs, but we're not playing the Patriots tonight, so baseballs look good. Now we're getting ready to have our national anthem, and then we will have baseball. That's what we all came here for, right? That's the exciting part.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise? And
Here we go with the Star Spangled Banner.
Honoring our great nation, our many veterans, our men and women proudly serving our country at home and abroad with the playing of our national anthem.
Diamonds baseball from Pittsburg, California.
Ball.
Tony Schultz, the voice of the Diamonds, is not going to be with us tonight. He is on vacation all this week, and he will be back next week as we start the second half of this Pacific Association season. And there will be a new champion. We don't know who it is yet. The Sonoma Stompers are just 1 victory away. The Diamonds are 5 victories away, but they're still in it, and they are ready to go. I have to say, being around the team this afternoon, they seemed a lot looser today than they did yesterday. And maybe that will translate into a better day at the plate. They could not score last night. Impossible to believe that the team with this lineup could not get a run across the plate, but that was the case. And so that is what cost them everything. 1 run would have sent it into overtime, but they couldn't get there. So tonight they're going to have to do better than they did last night offensively. Now, pitching, you can't complain, obviously. If when the game had said you'd only give up 1 run, you'd think easy victory. But that's not what happened last night. The team is taking its sweet time to get on the field. I don't know what the holdup is, but they're waiting for it. And we're looking forward to seeing the new here. They're waiting to be led on the field by Travis Blackley, who is taking the mound, number 15. He's ready to go. Alex McKeon will be behind the plate. Let's set the Diamonds defensively for you right now. The Diamonds will have McKeon behind the plate. At third base is Gerald Batista, and he has been all over the place with the Diamonds since he came over from the Vallejo Admirals, and now he is a third baseman, and he is going to be there tonight. J.J. Wagner has been the regular third baseman, and he has the night off. At shortstop is Jose Garcia, of course, who's been there since day one and plays a great shortstop and has been among the league's leading hitters since the season began, although he had a kind of slow start, but now he is just hitting the ball really well, and so he is taking his regular place at shortstop, and his double play combo mate, Audemars Valdez, who we got a chance to talk to earlier today for an interview that'll be on BayAreaSports.tv later. Audemars doesn't speak the best English, so we had Calderon as an interpreter, and it was great to hear his story, and that will all be available to you in the next couple days on BayAreaSports.tv, as well as Jose Garcia, who moved here when he was in high school. He moved from the Dominican Republic. They're both from the Dominican, and Garcia moved here and went to high school in Connecticut or in New Jersey when he first moved here, and so he's been around the U.S. for much longer, and his English is better, but they both play baseball very, very well. At first base, of course, is Galletti, who we also spoke to, and that will also be available. Across the outfield from left to right is Marty Carina, Wes Wallace in center, and in right field tonight, I got to check that out. In right field is Jose Calderon, J.Q. Calderon, excuse me. Also from the Dominican Republic. So there are a lot of Dominicans in American baseball everywhere. We're ready to get started with Blackley, and Brendan Metzger will step up to the plate. Here we go. It's do or die for the Diamonds tonight. The pitch from Blackley. A strike, gets 0-1. Ricardo Rodriguez behind the plate, slow on that call, little delayed strike call. So Blackley ready to go again. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and hit down the right field line. Over comes Calderon. He's looking. He's not going to get there, but it is foul. No balls and 2 strikes now for Metzger. Metzger's got some speed. If that ball had gotten down into the right field corner, he would have at least been at third. Calderon. What's that? Oh. Okay, it's going to be no balls and 2 strikes. He had a long walk. Oh, 2 count from Blackley. I met a woman on her way into the stadium with a shirt that said Orange and Blackley, which, of course, is perfect for the Diamonds. She said it was bought on the internet when he was part of the San Francisco Giants, who are also orange and black. Orange and Blackley tonight. 0-2 pitch. He's checked his swing, and it's a ball. It's 1-2. The Diamonds play Metzger straight away and medium depth, really. He is a problem when he gets on the bases. Here's a pitch to him. High for a ball, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's number 2 on the team in stolen bases. Right behind. Nice. Two count, the 2-2 pitch. He's right behind Marcus Bradley in that category. This pitch is strike 3 called. So Metzger will sit down with the first out of the game. A strikeout for Travis Blackley. And that brings up Matt Lococo.
Number 3, Matt Lococo.
Lococo steps in with 1 out and nobody on. Just getting started here at Winter Chevrolet Stadium in the do-or-die game for the Diamonds, and pitch to Matt Lococo is a strike, and it's 0-1. So Blackley's not fooling around. He's thrown nothing but strikes so far. 0-1 count with the wind blowing out to left field, and it's a strong wind out there. Here in the grandstand, there's not even a hush of wind. This pitch is inside for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The Sonoma Stompers 4 ahead, 5 to play. So that means anytime if they win any of these games, they will be the champion of the first half. The left-hander Blackley against a right-hander Lococo, and that pitch is a ball, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Uh-oh. Two and one, the count to Blackley. 2-1, the count to Lococo. This pitch is fouled off the screen to the right, and so that count will go even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Diamonds have had outstanding pitching since they started the series, but they need to. It's so amazing how that happens in baseball. You get the greatest pitching performance, and your hitters can't hit at the same time. That pitch is low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Even a mediocre night at the plate last night would have turned things around, but that was not to be. 3-2, full count now to the second hitter in the lineup for Sonoma, Matt Lococo. Blackley ready to go. Winds and delivers, and that pitch is smacked to center field. Wes Wallace coming over to his left and makes the catch. That ball was hit well, and it was hit hard, but it was hit too close to Wes Wallace to get by him or to get down, and so that was an out. And that's out number 2. Joel Carranza will step to the plate. Mr. Carranza, in this very situation last night, hit the ball over the left field fence, and no one would have predicted that that would be the only score of the entire ball game, but that was it. So the game-winning hit came in the first inning last night, and it was this batter, Carranza, who's up here now with 2 down and nobody out in the first inning. Blackley takes his time. Here's the pitch, and it's high for a ball. It's 1-0. Diamonds back here tomorrow night at 6:30 against these very same Stompers. And then they go to Sonoma for 3 games on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They will play at 7 o'clock and 5 o'clock on Saturday, 5 o'clock on Sunday. The pitch is whacked to the left side foul, and it's 1-1. They play Carranza straightaway and deep in the outfield. There's a lot of outfield out there. Not quite the same outfield as Sonoma. Sonoma's center field fence is 435 feet away from home plate. That's another 40 feet beyond here in Pittsburgh. That pitch is fouled at the plate, and it's 1-2. It goes on and on. They have one little wall there, a little section of the wall that's covered in ivy, and the feet sign is in the middle of it. It looks just like a little part of Wrigley Field. But it'd be a lot more interesting if you could see it from home plate. It's too far away. The pitch is inside for a ball. It's 2-2. You can see Blackley checking with the count, checking on the count with the umpire, and they both are in agreement. It's 2-2. Blackley's 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled away. We have the usual sunshine issue here in Pittsburgh when the game is beginning, and that on the night game is beginning, and that is right in the face of your left fielder, your shortstop, your third baseman, and that can have an impact on some plays. This pitch from Carranza, to Carranza, it's hit to center field. Wallace is coming in, and he has it, and they'll just keep running on into the dugout because that's out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. At the end of 1/2 inning, the score, the Stompers nothing, the Diamonds are coming up.
Baseball, dedication hard work, and some creative thinking can make a team a champion. At Winter Chevrolet, the same qualities can make you a champion. Pittsburgh's new and used Chevy dealer has a car that will make you feel like you just hit a home run. With a large selection to choose from, Winter Chevrolet is sure to have the car that fits your personality. And their amazing finance programs will allow you to slide into your new car safely. Winter Chevrolet is a proud sponsor of Diamonds Baseball and is off of Highway 4 in Pittsburgh. Winter has what you want.
Are still in it. Sports TV will be with us if you're watching us there. And we'll always have every game for you on Mixler.com. Right now, Jose Garcia will step to the plate. Garcia having a great season. He'll face Scott Plaza here, who's in his 7th appearance of the year. They've all been starts for him. He has 1 complete game, 35 innings of pitching. He's given up 17 walks and 26 strikeouts. And that's a good ratio there. 4.33 earned run average for Scott as he comes to the plate against Garcia, hitting first here in the bottom of the first. And that first pitch is a ball. It's 1-0. On deck, Otomar Valdez, and he'll be followed by Wes Wallace. That pitch outside. The rest of the Diamond lineup has Vinny Galletti hitting cleanup at first base. B.J. Gwynn, the newest addition to the Diamonds roster, will be hitting DH in 5th. J.Q. Calderon will be at 6th. The 2-0 pitch is ball 3. And now it's a strike. It's 2-1, and that's better than 3-0 for old Scott Plaza. Javier Montecaron will battle 7th. Bautista is now playing third base and will bat 8th, and Alex McKeon is behind the plate. The 2-1 pitch. Strike 2. It's 2-2. For Sonoma, defensively, across the outfield, it's Metzger, Hibbert, and Matt Lococo is in right field tonight. The 2-2 pitch is strike 3 called, and Jose Garcia will take a seat. Valdez will come up here with nobody on and 1 out.
Now batting second baseman, number 2, Otomar Valdez.
Across the infield, it is Mauro Laura, who made a good play on that final out last night in a pressure-packed situation. Mayadora is a shortstop, Yasuda at second base, and Scott David is the first baseman. Isaac Weinrich behind the plate, and Scott Plaza on the mound. Valdez comes up here hitting .290. And he hits this one to center field and deep, and back goes Hibbert. Hibbert still going back, but makes the catch. And that's out number 2. Wes Wallace will come to the plate. Wallace hitting .339 on the season, right behind Vinny Galletti in the leadership for the batting title in this first half. He has 8 home runs. He has 30 RBIs. 2 of those home runs came on Sunday. The first pitch to Wallace with 2 down and nobody on, and it's outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Plaza winds and delivers the 1-0 pitch. Ball 2, 2-0. They're not walking him so they can get to Galletti. We know that. So we'll just assume the Plaza's missing where he wants to throw the ball. The 2-0 pitch to Wes Wallace is a strike, and it's 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch. Strike 2, 2-2. 2-2 from Plaza. Wallace watches it go way outside. So it's a full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander against right-hander here in the bottom of the first with nobody on. 2 outs. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, a missed, strike 3. So 2 of the Diamonds go down striking out here in the first inning. They get nobody aboard. At the end of 1, it's 0-0. We're ready to go for the second inning here with no score. In fact, we've had a minimal number of batters up to the plate so far. Isaac Weinrich will step in here, batting cleanup for Sonoma. A good first inning for Travis Blackley, who had 3 up, 3 down. The Diamonds went down 1-0 in the first inning last night, and that held up for the whole score of the game. So Weinrich steps in here, the left-hander against the left-handed pitching Blackley. He'll be followed by Moralora and then Scott David, the first 3 to hit here for the Stompers. First pitch is fouled off, and it's going to be 0-1. 0-1, the count to Weinrich here as he steps in here. Last night he had the same night everybody else except Carranza had, which was basically unsuccessful. No balls and a strike. Blackley winds and delivers, and that one is fouled off, and it's 0-2. And like that first inning, he is throwing strikes. Everything up there is being hit foul or called a strike. 2 guys flew out to Wes Wallace in the first inning. Blackley from Melbourne, Australia. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's out number 1 here in the second inning.
Now batting third baseman, number 2, Eddie Moraloera.
I don't know if you can call that the kangaroo curve, but he's from Australia, so we'll call it that anyway. That kangaroo curve, that'll get him. Left-hander Blackley. Now up facing him will be Eddie Moralora, third baseman for Sonoma. He's a right-hander. Blackley's line in his one game he pitched last week against Sonoma. This pitch is Moralora. He squares the bunt, pulls it back, takes a strike, and it's 0-1. He pitched 5 innings in that game last week, gave up 5 hits and 5 walks, which is why it always seemed like there was action in his 5 innings. And it was almost surprising to realize at the end of it all, he hadn't given up a run. The pitch for Blackley is swinging. This one is hit well to left field, but it's right at Marty Carrena, who keeps in a couple steps, and he makes the catch. Out number 2 here, and Scott David will come to the plate.
Now batting first baseman, number 14, Scott David.
To continue that line from last week, Blackley gave up 5 walks. He struck out 4 and gave up 1 triple, but no runs. Tonight he has not given up anything. They're 0 for 5 are the Stompers, and Scott David steps in here with 2 outs, nobody on, second inning. The first pitch to David is a ball. It's 1-0. David steps in here hitting .267. He's got 2 home runs on the year, 23 RBIs. Plays first base. Has deceptive speed, we've decided here. 1-0 count, and that's low. But almost strike one. It's 1-1. To remind you, Tony Schultz is not with us this week. He will be back next week. He is on a well-deserved vacation. His toes twinkling in the water of Lake Tahoe. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball. Strike two. What do I know? 1 ball and 2 strikes, and Blackley keeps hitting the lower part of the plate, and I keep thinking he doesn't. But it's better for him that he gets the count the way it is. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Scott David has a strange way of warming up at the plate like that. This pitch, he bounces to the right side. Valdez waits for it, gets it, throws it in time, but there's that deceptive speed. It looked like David had a chance to beat that one out, and he got down that line in a hurry, but Valdez's throw was barely in time. So 3 up, 3 down again for the Sonoma Stompers, and we're going to the bottom of the second with no score. Oh, I thought you were looking at me like you had something to say. Well, Scott Plaza comes out to meet the Diamonds again for inning number 2, and he has so far been keeping pace with Travis Blackley, who's having an outstanding night. He hasn't around a base runner either. He's coming up here in the bottom of the second to face Vinny Galletti, the newest Diamond. B.J. Gwynn in the on-deck circle. We'll get a chance to see him, although he was here last year. People, you are maybe more familiar with him than I am. And J. Q. Calderon will be the third hitter in this inning. Galletti steps in here, and he is having his usual spectacular numbers at top of the league leaders for hitting. He first pitches a strike, even though it bounces off Weinrich and comes out of the back to the backstop. Galletti hitting .421 as he steps in here. Plaza lines and delivers. Ball, and it's 1-1. Last week, Plaza got the loss in his pitch against the Diamonds. His game against the Diamonds, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, 2 were earned. He struck out 9 in those 5 innings and gave up 4 walks. That pitch is a ball, and it's 2-1 to Galletti. We are still looking for the first base runner in this baseball game. Galletti hits this one foul, and it's going to be an even count now with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Galletti leading the league in hitting, and runs batted in. And we had a chance to speak with him before today's game, talking about his goals. And he says, I'm here to do what everybody else is here to do, and that's try to get myself to the major leagues. So he's working on that, and he certainly has a good start. And to some surprise that, to me anyway, that no one has tried to pick him up from a affiliated squad, but he just continues to hit the ball where they aren't. It's an amazing knack of his. This pitch is fouled away, and count stays 2-2. I asked him about that. I asked him if it was something he thought about mentally as he was at the plate, or did it just happen? He says just It just happens. And because he'll hit the ball hard a lot, but sometimes he hits a looper or a little ground ball, almost in the exact spot that it has to be to become a hit. Here's the pitch, fouled at the plate, and it stays at 2-2. So Galletti and Plaza are having a little battle here. 3 foul balls in a row by Galletti with the count 2-2. Plaza comes to the plate, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swung on and fouled away, and it stays at 2-2. Galletti trying to get the pitch he wants to hit, may have had a couple of those and not gotten them quite as good as he would like to have gotten them. But also at the same time, you see a ball you don't want to hit, but you can't let it go by because it's too close to the strike zone. You have to take a whack at it and maybe foul it off intentionally if you can. The 2-2 pitch bounces up there, so now the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. They play Galletti. They shift for Galletti. There's not a lot of shifting in the Pacific Association, but for Galletti, there's a shift, and there's the shortstop almost over to second base. The right fielder goes over a little bit to the right. This pitch, Galletti fouled back. The battle continues. The ball hit the backstop, bounded all the way back near the plate, and almost hit Galletti as it came back. It was not traveling incredibly fast at that point, but still not what you want to have happen. Plaza goes back to the mound. He's got a new ball. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. And he has thrown a lot of pitches here to Vinny Galletti. It's got to be 10 at least at this point. 9. Okay. This will be number 10. Swung on, and Galletti hits this one high into left field. And the left fielder, Metzger, comes over, and he makes the catch. So that long battle was won by Plaza eventually. He gets Galletti out on a high fly ball to left field, and Bobby Metzger made a fine play. And here we go. Designated hitter B.J. Gwynn with his welcome back at bat here in the bottom of the second with nobody on and 1 out. Gwynn here last year went to the American Association. Beginning of the season, now is back. Hitting almost 400 last year as he was playing with the Diamonds. This first pitch to him is a strike, and it's 0-1. No balls and a strike. The pitch to Gwynn, he checks his swing and takes a ball, and it's 1-1. Left-handed batter against the right-hander on the mound, Scott Plaza. The pitch from Plaza, and he hits this one to the right side, and it's going to be deep, and it's going to go in between him all the way to the wall. Gwynn around first and on his way to second. The throw is picked up. The ball is picked up in right field by Lococo and thrown in, and that'll be a stand-up double for B.J. Gwynn, and welcome back to Pittsburgh.
Now batting the right fielder, number 34, Jacob Calderon.
He's out there standing on second base now. B.J. Gwynn with his diamond double. He had some comment from the bullpen. He turned to give him a big smile on his face and a wave hello. J. Q. Calderon steps in here. Runner at second, the first base runner of this baseball game. Calderon, big man at the plate. Plaza looks back at Quinn. The pitch to Calderon is a slow curve. It's a strike, 0-1. Calderon hitting .327 as he stands in here. 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. Oh, 1 count. The 0-1 pitch. That is low for a ball. It gets away from Weinrich, but he's able to pick it up, and he does not give Gwynn a chance to advance on that. We talked to Calderon before the game, too. He, of course, recently took a week off. His father died, and he went home for the services and to see his family. He says his goal now in the future life is to work to make people more aware of Alzheimer's disease and its impacts. Ground ball right up the middle, stop at the shortstop, and thrown out is Calderon. Going to third on the play is Quinn, and that was a good play by Mayadora, who had to wait to see the ball when Gwynn finally got out of the way. But he did not go to third. He went to first. The rule usually is you have to hit it to the right side to advance the runner when they're at second. But that was to the left side. So now with 2 down, Marty Carreno will come to the plate. Runner at third, 2 down. That sounds like the World Baseball Classic Finals against Puerto Rico. That pitch is a ball. No, it's a strike. It's the wrong one. I mean, that game had more Latin music and fun than any game I'd ever seen. The Americans won it, though. First time ever. Here's the pitch. It's a strike, and it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Marty Carrena. Up here with a runner at third. B.J. Quinn, he's trying to bring in the first diamond run of the series. 0-2 pitch. Outside, hits Weinrich in the chest protector, and he keeps it from going to the backstop, and that will keep Quinn from going to the plate. So he's still at third. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Marty Carrena steps back in. A 1-2 count. He came up here hitting .287 on the season with 2 home runs and 18 RBIs. That pitch is out. That's strike 3 called. Wow, strike 3 called. Okay. That's the end of this inning. No runs, 1 hit. 1 runner left on base, and at the end of 2, the score 0-0. I don't know. I don't think so. It's good.
No, his brother was, his father was also Brian Gwynn Sr. He was traded. Brian Gwynn played in Modesto for the A's single A club with Jose Canseco. He was traded for a reliever from the Cubs.
Ready for what?
For a reliever from the Cubs. Young and MVP for the Oakland A's.
Raleigh Finger.
No, Dennis Eckersley.
Catfish Hunter.
Dennis Eckersley.
Well, that's a...
He had already had 200 wins. Wow. And he ended up getting 200 saves with the A's.
His dad played with the Modesto A's, the farm team for the Oakland A's. And when I hear that they traded Dennis Eckersley for him. Dennis Eckersley went on to the, Hall. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They traded Vince Scully for me.
That should be a question, right?
On to the third inning we go here at Winter Chevrolet Stadium in Pittsburgh, and we got no score. And we got some people unhappy with the strike zone, but that's not something you can complain about too much, so you better not say much. For the Sonoma Stompers, still looking for hit number 1 in this game. They're going to have the bottom of their order here. Mesa Mayadera, Yuki Yasuda, and Matt Hibbert will come to the plate as the first 3 to hit for Sonoma. On the mound, Travis Blackley for the Diamonds, and this pitch is whacked past Garcia into left field for a base hit. Garcia with a diving attempt on the outfield grass, one of those attempts that even if he had successfully captured the baseball, he would not have been able to throw the runner out. So Yasuda comes up here with a runner at first and nobody out. The first hit for Sonoma tonight. Each team has 1 hit. There's no score. Top of the third inning. Mayadora with his lead at first base. Yasuda comes in here hitting .252. He has 2 home runs and 21 RBIs. A throw to first, and Mayadora is back in. Mayadera is back in. Excuse me. He has on the season 6 stolen bases and has not been caught. Blackley looking over and throws. And now we talked to Aaron Miles about the holding runners on situation. He had expressed last week a severe interest in his pitchers making the base runners for Sonoma, making them aware that they know that they are there and they're not allowed to get big leads from the bag. This pitch from Blackley is a ball. It's 1-0. He wanted them to throw over there as much as was necessary to keep the runners close to the bag, and he feels like they have done that and have had a significant impact in Sonoma's running game. But he says one of the best people in that situation is Travis Blackley, who is on the mound now. His ball 2-0. He has a deceptive move, he said, that the runners have a hard time picking up on. And I think in that last throw to the first, we saw that kind of thing. It was hard to tell if he was pitching or throwing to first. And pitchers, if they don't do things correctly, will get a balk, and the runner will get the free bag. So you got to do it correctly, and that means you can't be deceptive in the sense that you kick the ball towards home plate and throw to first. When you have to kick the ball, your leg, in the direction you're throwing it. So that is the rule that you must work underneath, and Blackley still has a deceptive move according to Miles. So we're going to watch that, and if you're watching on BayAreaSports.tv, you can watch it too. Here's a pitch high for a ball, and so the runner at first may not have to steal second because Blackley's just one ball away from putting him there. 3-0 count now to Yasuda, with Maedira on first base after a single to the left side of the infield. This pitch, a strike, and it's 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. Now, that's easy to say. What we just said about blocks, easy to say that you have to kick your ball in the direction that you're throwing the ball, but try to go one step farther than that. Here's a pitch. This one is hit well to left field. Marty Carrena comes over. He watches it, and it is foul. It is just foul. What? He called it fair. The home plate umpire called it fair, and that was a foul ball. Oh, my. That ball was hit well to left field. Yasuda hit it out of here. There's no doubt about that. But it went to the left of the foul pole, and the umpire is called it a fair ball. He's going to now discuss this with his other umps. We got video. We also have the situation because of the runner at first. They had moved the third base umpire over towards second base. Otherwise, he would have been right on the line and able to call that, and from a closer position than anybody else on the field. But he was over at second because there was a runner on to call any type of throw to second, etc. And so he was not in the best position to call that. But the home plate umpire, standing at home plate, looking down the line, has almost the exact view of it that I have. It seemed no doubt in my mind that it went foul. Now, Miyoshi, the manager for the Stompers, is now talking with the umpires. Aaron Miles has already come out and expressed his displeasure. The whole team erupted when the call went that it was fair because everybody saw it and everybody thought it was foul. Right now, the umpires are having a lot of conversation, and we'll see what happens. But this is a very difficult situation. I don't know if he's allowed to look at the video on BayAreaSports.tv. Has he taken it off the board? He's taken it off there. So the home run has been taken off the board. Yasuda will come back to the plate. I assume we'll have a full count now of 3-2. That was something. Yeah. He went over and talked to Miyoshi about this before he made the call that he was not going to allow the home run. But that is the second time this year that we've seen a call changed, and remarkable that it even happens. And we've seen it twice. Once it went to the detriment of the Diamonds. This one definitely in their favor. So they take 2 runs off the board for Sonoma, and it's now a full count on Yasuda. Maedira continues to lead from first base, and it's a 3-2 count, the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, and this one has popped up foul and out of play. Well, there's a remarkable moment in baseball. And we've seen 2 of them this year. I have to say, the one that we're talking about was over in, when they took away a base hit from the Diamonds that scored the lead runs. This throw to first, back in is Maedira. They first called the right fielder had dropped the ball, the run scored. Then the after some complaining by the other team, they reversed that decision and took the runs off the board. That was one that I could not see. I did not. The player's body was in the way. The ground ball to the right side. That's going to go to right field for a base hit. Maedira goes to second. He will hold on as Calderon comes up throwing, and it's cut off at second base by Garcia. But Calderon was on that in a hurry, and his was going to mow him down at third base if he had tried. First and second now for the Stompers. More importantly, first and second here, they may have had 2 runs taken off the board, but their threat is still on the field. They've got 2 on and nobody out. We're going to the number 9 hitter for them, Matt Hibbert, the center fielder. So that's an extraordinary moment here in baseball, but the home run that was not, or the not home run that was and then wasn't, because I'm telling you from my perspective, which was right down that left field line, it was a foul ball. That was the final decision. Here we go. Hibbert up here with runners at first and second. Nobody out. He squares to bunt. He takes high for a ball. That's 1-0. Two singles in the inning for the Stompers. And their offense has come alive here in the bottom of the order. Travis Blackley has a sign from Alex McKeon, and it's 1 ball and no strikes at the moment. The 1-0 pitch. Square to bunt, take it high for a ball. So Matt Hibbert took a long time getting this call from his third base coach / umpire, Miyoshi, / umpire / manager. Maybe I thought he was an umpire because he was talking to them as that call was being decided. Here's the pitch. High, ball 3. Matt Hibbert's not a tall guy, so when he squares the bunt, it's a very small strike zone, and that one was up around his face. 3-0 count now. If Hibbert walks, the bases are loaded, and we have the top of the order coming up. Right now, there's 2 on, nobody out, top of the third. Square to bunt. Take a ball. Oh, and now Blackley has something to say about the pitch, and he's not happy about it. He's pointing at the strike zone, and he shuts up because the umpire came out from behind home plate, and I think any other comment might have ended up with Blackley not playing any more baseball tonight. So Hibbert walks. He is at first base. The bases are loaded. Maedira at third, Yasuda at second, Hibbert at first. There is nobody out. There's no score. Brendan Metzger comes up now for Sonoma. Metzger struck out back in the first inning. It's now the top of the third. The first pitch to Metzger.
Currently batting left fielder number 12, Brendan Metzger.
First pitch to Metzger is a strike, and it's 0-1. Diamonds are playing up at first base, close at third to the infield grass, and double play depth at short and second. This pitch is line drive, 1 hop to Garcia, makes a good stop, picks to Valdez, throws to first, he got him. That'll score a run for the Stompers as Maedira comes in to score, and the Diamonds were ready and willing to take 2 outs for that score, and so it's going to be 1-0 and 2 down now in the third inning. That was a line drive that Garcia had to decide how to play it. He could have tried to catch it on the fly if he moved forward, but that would have been very difficult. But where he was kind of frozen, had to take a very quick hop on a hard-hit ball, and he successfully got that ball and got it off to Valdez, who made the relay to first. And because it was so well hit, they were able to get the speedy Metzger before he got to first base. 2 down, and now the only runner left is on at at third base, and that is Yasuda. 1 ball, no strike count to Matt Lococo up here, getting a start in right field. Blackley had something to say about that strike call previously. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down and a runner at third. 1 run in for Sonoma. Sonoma, all they need, 1 more victory for the championship. The Diamonds are alive. They need 5 straight victories. The pitch. Swung on, bounded towards Garcia again. This ball is picked up. He looks at first, he throws, he got him. Out number 3, but the Stompers get a run and a wild inning where there's 1 home run and that is taken off the board. Instead of the 2 they had at that moment, they ended up with 1 run in the top of the 3rd, and we're going to the bottom of the 3rd. It's Sonoma 1 and Pittsburg nothing.
Are you looking for a community-based establishment that will provide a fun and exciting environment for your family? Certainly, Diamond Baseball is one, and no doubt, Lumpy's Diner is another. Before or after the game, eating at Lumpy's Diner or Lumpy's Diner Express can make for a great doubleheader. And if you want to win a road game, the catering at Lumpy's Diner will make your event a no-hitter no matter the location. Lumpy's Diner is homegrown sensation, world famous since 2008. Bring your family to ours. Pittsburg Diamonds, we're glad to have Lumpy's Diner as a sponsor, who will be catering our dinner tonight here at the ballpark for both sides, Stompers and the Diamonds. No, there's no script. How many hits you got? 2.
Going to the bottom of the 3rd after a wild top of the 3rd where the home run by Yuki Yasada, it was called a fly ball that left the park right around the left field foul ball. It was called a home run by the home plate umpire. Everybody else in the park seemed to think that it was a foul ball. And after much discussion, including with Miyoshi, the manager of the Stompers, the call was reversed. 2 runs were taken off the scoreboard for Sonoma, but they continued on. They loaded the bases, and actually, in the end of that, the Diamonds came out scoring. They only had 1 run when the bases were loaded, nobody out. Here's the first pitch to Bautista, leads off the first of the 3rd, and it's a strike 1. So, bases loaded, nobody out. The Diamonds ended up getting a double play, giving up the run to get the 2nd out, and then a ground out, and the 3rd inning became the 3rd out and ended that threat. But 1-0 is a score that no Diamond fan today wants to see last too long. It lasted for 9 innings last night and ended up the final score, 1-0 Sonoma. And now Pittsburgh is playing with its backs to the wall. The pitch to Bautista is taken for a strike, and it's 1-2. On deck, Alex McKeon. Bautista was up last night with 2 outs and runners at 2nd and 3rd in the bottom of the 9th, and this pitch is bounded much like that one. It's much deeper. Moralora goes back to get the high bounce, and he throws it high. And Bautista will go under the throw and will be safe at first base, and I think that'll be an error on the 3rd baseman. But it might be a single. But he'll get a single. He was there when the throw got there. That was way high. David had no chance to catch that ball. It hit the screen and did not go very far away, so there was no chance to get a runner to second base. And so now McKeon will step in here with the Diamonds have a runner at first. Bottom of the 3rd inning. McKeon with nobody out. 1-0 Sonoma. The first pitch is a strike. It's 0-1. No balls and 2 strikes. And no balls and 1 strike to McKeon, the catcher for the Diamonds. We have said before, that pitch to him, he plays a very physical catcher. I mean, it's a physical position. I think he may hit the ball off him. Even when he's not catching, he gets hit by the ball. It's not funny, but boy, Alex McKeon, he is the human backstop sometimes. The ball is his chest, his legs, just several times. The game has to just take a moment to give McKeon a chance to recover. But he hops back in there, and nothing seems to keep him down. No balls and 2 strikes, and that pitch is high and inside for a ball. It's 1-2, and he had to lean out of the way of that one. Both teams with 2 hits. The Stompers with a run. swing and a foul tip. Did he catch it? No, he did not catch it. And so McKeon is alive at the plate, and the count stays at 1-2. Runner at first, Bautista with his lead. He has not gotten much attention from Scott Plaza. He's got a big lead, too. He's bigger lead than most. Here's the pitch. McKeon hits this, and he lines it to the right side. It's going to go foul, and it's going to fall safely by the bullpen. It looked at first like it might stay up long enough to give Lococo a chance to make a play, but he could not get over there. The ball continued to slice away, and it was eventually hit the fence. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to McKeon. The 1-2 pitch. That was, I don't. There are lots of people yelling out there. I don't know what exactly their advice they were giving though. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lots of advice. You get a lot of advice at baseball games if you're an umpire. The 2-2 pitch bounces up there, and it's 3-2. Weinrich able to keep it in front of him, and so Bautista is still at first base. There's nobody out. The Diamonds with a base runner. Now Plaza with the ball behind his back. Looks over at first, throws to first, and Bautista back in. A full count to McKeon, and I think he's thought, well, Bautista might run with the pitch, as teams often do, trying to stay out of a double play at second base. Sometimes they run themselves into a double play if the pitcher swings and misses. 3-2 count. There goes Bautista. This pitch is hit to the left side, and it's foul. The count stays at 3-2. McKeon comes in here. Hitting .214 on the year. He's got a runner at first, 3-2 count. The 3-2 pitch, he hits it right back up the middle, and it's going to be picked up. No, it goes right by Yasuda into center field, and Bautista goes on to third. It looked like Yasuda running over because Bautista was on his way to second would be able to make that play. He made a sliding attempt to catch it, and it got under his glove and on into center field. A base hit. And now they're runners at the corners with nobody out. And the top of the order is coming up.
Now batting shortstop, number 1, Jose Garcia.
Jose Garcia will step to the plate here with 2 on and no out. Bottom of the third inning. 1-0 Sonoma. Plaza, and a jam for the first time in this game. Comes to the plate high, pitches over Garcia's head. It's 1-0. Bautista at third, McKeon at first. The pitch, and Garcia hits this one high, and pops it up on the infield, and I call it infield fly rule, and Scott David makes the catch. Infield fly rule called because there are 2 runners on there, and they were not going to. That means they cannot. If they drop the ball, it's still an out. The batters are automatically out, so that they can't drop the ball and then get a double play while people are sticking around in case it gets caught. So that is it for Garcia, who sits down. But Odomar Valdez will come up here with runners at first and third. Valdez at the plate, a switch hitter. He will hit left against the right-hander Plaza. And Plaza comes in, and the pitch is low. For a ball, it's 1-0. Wes Wallace on deck. 1 out. The Stompers, of course, looking for a double play. They play a very shallow second base there Yasuda's playing. If that's supposed to be double play depth, it's almost halfway. I mean, maybe they think they're going to make a play at the plate. Bautista was lead at third. Here's the pitch, and Valdez hits this one down the left field line. It's going to be trouble if it stays fair, and it's fair. In comes Bautista to score. On his way to third is McKeon, just picking up the ball now in left field is Metzger, and on with a double, and center base is Omar Valdez, and he has the Diamonds' first RBI of this series. a curving line drive down the left field line that nobody could get, and the only hope that the Stompers had was that it might fall foul, but it just barely landed inside the foul line, and that was a fair ball, and Valdez on his second with a stand-up double. Runners at second and third now, and one out, and here is Wes Wallace. The first pitch to Wallace is outside for a ball, and it's 1-0. The Diamonds have broken through. They had just suffered through 11 straight scoreless innings. 1-1 the score here in the bottom of the third. The pitch to Wallace, and he hits this one high to right center field. Will it be deep enough to score McKeon? Coming in the left right fielder, Lococo makes the catch. McKeon is on his way to the plate. He stops. The throw comes in offline, and a good question about whether McKeon would have been able to score, or would he just had a total head-on collision with Weinrich, with the catcher, who had to come up the third base line to catch that ball. McKeon tagged and then started towards the plate, and he drew the throw from Lococo, but Lococo's throw was up towards third base. It could have been a horrible head-on collision. It could have been a chance to score, but we'll never know. Vinny Galletti will step in here with runners at second and third now, and 2 outs. The pitch to Galletti. High and inside. It's a ball, 1-0. On deck, B.J. Gwynn, who was the newest Diamond and came in here, said hello to everybody with a double in the second inning. One-0 count to Galletti. The 1-0 pitch. That's outside for a ball, and it's 2-0. And so he got a high and inside pitch and then a pitch way off the plate. It would make you think that they don't really want to give him anything to hit, but we'll see what they do here. 2 balls and no strikes. Tie ball game. 1-1, bottom of the third. But the Diamonds have runners at second and third. The pitch to Galletti is swung on and fouled out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. At third base, McKeon, he is not the fastest guy on the team, which is one reason he tagged and held up, which was a smart move. At second base, Valdez, he might be the fastest guy on the team. It's funny when you get some of those plays with that situation where the guy behind the first runner is almost scoring at the same time. Look back at second. The pitch to Galletti is swung on. This one is hit down the left field line, and this one is going to be foul. Everyone can agree on that. It went out of the park, though. It went out of the park over the left field fence, but it was foul. Count now goes even to Galletti. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So he has had pitches to hit, he felt, and knocked 2 of them foul. So Plaza can be expected to be challenging Galletti here on 2-2. The 2-2 pitch is high, but it's fouled back, and its count again is 2-2. There's a good shot of Galletti getting his batting helmet on and his batting gloves organized. Each swing of the bat is kind of an exercise in motion and conflict in your body and all that kind of stuff, and everything that you had set just before the last swing is kind of out of kilter, and it needs to be put back in place. 2-2 count. Galletti takes this pitch and fouls it back, and the count stays at 2-2. And as I recall, in the first inning, Galletti and Plaza had a battle. Galletti in his first, that was in the second inning, and he flew out to left field his first time up. Galletti back in the bottom box, 2-2 count, 2 on second and third. There are 2 outs here, a 1-1 ball game. Diamonds have 1 run in this inning. The pitch to Galletti is high for a ball, full count now to Galletti. It's been a Stomper scored in the top of the third inning here. They scored on what was called a home run and later changed to a foul ball, but they worked more people on base and got a run on a double play. This pitch to Galletti is swung on and missed. Strike 3, but the Diamonds get a run On 3 hits, they leave 2 runners on. And at the end of 3, the score, Stompers 1, Diamonds 1. Is this?
Yeah, they want me to. On the other mics, they wanted to touch my mouth.
Yeah, but you should be the bottom of your mouth, not the top.
Okay. All right, we are here to go to the top of the 4th inning. If you're wondering where Tony Schultz is, who usually would toss it to me at the top of the 4th inning, he is on vacation, not with us. He'll be here next week, enjoying some time off, I hope. We all hope. We're going to the top of the 4th with a tie ball game here. Blackley to the plate, and the first pitch to Carranza is a ball. It's 1-0. Carranza flew out to center field his first time up. As you know, he was the home run hitter last night. We made the difference, 1-0 for Sonoma's victory. There's a pitch from Blackley. Swung on a miss to strike, and it's 1-1. Blackley cruising along here until this last inning where they got the bases loaded with nobody out. The Diamonds were willing to give up a run on a double play. For a double play, that's exactly what happened. And now that was the 1-0 lead for Sonoma. This pitch misses somewhere for a ball. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. The Stompers had a home run taken off the board in that 3rd inning when it was decided the ball was foul. This pitch, Carranza hits it high. He got underneath it. Wallace is charging in, and he can't get it. It's going to fall in between everybody. Garcia came out. Wallace came in. Nobody could quite get there, and the ball falls harmlessly to the ground in center field, short center field. So Carranza gets a single. But, boy, that just found the one part of the diamond nobody could get to.
Now batting, the catcher, number 25, Isaac Weinberg.
Isaac Weinrich steps in here. He struck out to lead off the 2nd inning. He comes up here with Carranza at first. And nobody out. 4 hits for Pittsburgh, 3 hits for Sonoma so far. Blackley looks at first. And the left-hander comes to the plate, swearing to bunt. It's a sacrifice attempt. Blackley looks at second. He throws to first and gets Weinrich. And Carranza goes to second. And if that doesn't give you an indication of what Sonoma thinks about Pittsburgh's pitching, nothing will. You don't often see the cleanup batter sacrificing, but he did. And successfully, Carranza over to second base with 1 out now. Eddie Moralora will step in. Moralora steps in here, right-handed batter. The 3rd baseman for Sonoma. He flew out to left field when he was first up. The pitch from Blackley. A strike, and it's 0-1. Blackley had 2 very quick innings and then had a lot of excitement back there in that 3rd inning. He gave up the first run he's given up as a pitcher for Pittsburgh this year. Now he's got a runner at second, and this pitch is swung on a miss by Moralora. He may have foul tipped it slightly, but it's 0 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. 0-2 count. And the 0-2 pitch is strike 3 called. Right on the inside corner. Moralora took it, and it is strike 3. Scott David will step up now.
Now batting first baseman, number 14, Scott David.
David ended the second inning, his first time up. He gets up here in the fourth. One to one right now, Sonoma and Pittsburg. Carranza is on at second base after he got a single to drop right where nobody was in center field there, and then he was sacrificed over to second. This pitch is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The Diamonds playing for the run. The Stompers playing for the run. Now Carranza's at second, but there are 2 down. David here with a 1-0 count. He says that's taking too long, and he walks out. He plays. Maybe he has something wrong with his eyeballs as he plays with his eyes and comes back in. Dust in the contacts or dust in your eye, whatever it might be. 1-0 count. The 1-0 pitch from Blackley. Foul back. And it's 1-1. David up here, left-handed hitter against a left-handed pitcher. You can see all the important things in that shot. You can see the batter, you can see the pitcher, you can see the guy at second base, Carranza. And there's Garcia and the ump. Blackley looks back, and the 1-1 pitch. Swings and hits this one to the left side. Is it going to be it's going to be foul? Marty Carrena trying to get over to get it in foul territory, but he can't quite get there in time as the ball hits the fence anyway. And so it's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes. All right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blackley trying to get out of this situation, but the Stompers have played for 1 run. He's got 2 outs here against David, trying to shut it down. The 1-2 pitch bounces up there, and it's going to be 2-2. McKeon keeps it in front of him and chases it down. Blackley pitched 5 innings last week with a lot of activity. He may have he's pitched fewer pitches tonight because he had people on base all night long last time he pitched. Here's a pitch. Ball to Scott David. So now with a full count and a runner at second. Blackley takes a walk off the mound. He has not liked a couple of the pitches calls that he's had, and he actually made some verbal comments to the umpire at one point, and the umpire came walking out of behind home plate, and I don't think Blackley would have lasted any longer had he said anything more, and he wisely shut his mouth. 3-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's it for Scott David and the Stompers here in the 4th inning. They get no runs. They get a hit. They leave that runner at the end of 3.5. The score is 1-1.
baseball diamond happens by accident. It takes, among other things, a lot of water. That's where the good people at Delta Diablo come in. Now, Delta Diablo They are transforming wastewater into resources, allowing us to reuse water for landscaping and other needs. This keeps more of this precious resource available for all. Find out how you can help at deltadiablo.org, proudly serving the communities of Antioch, Bay Point, and Pittsburgh.
We're ready to go here in the fourth inning, the bottom of the fourth inning. It's a 1-1 ball game. The Diamonds will send to the plate B.J. Gwynn, J.Q. Calderon, and Javier Marticarena. Gwynn steps in here batting left-handed against the right-handed Scott Plaza, who has had strong innings, 3 strong innings. He gave up a double to Gwynn in the second inning. And then he got in real trouble in the third inning. Here's a pitch. This time, Gwynn lifts the ball high to right side. It's going to be fair territory. He's got David over to make the catch in short right field. And so that's out number 1. J.Q. Calderon will step up here. He came up and grounded out, moving Gwynn to third base the first time he was up. Comes up here now with the bases empty and 1 out. Game tied at 1. Plaza winds and delivers. Inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. One count to J.Q. Calderon up here with nobody on and 1 out. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to the right side. We had an interview earlier today with Odemar Valdez, and Calderon was the proficient, talented, and desperately needed interpreter. And he did a great job. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That pitch is a ball, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Calderon. On deck, Marticarena. You can see the shadows here have taken over. There's a little sliver of light left in left field, but that is it. Here's a pitch to JQ, and he swings and fouls it at the plate. Or no, it does not hit it. It apparently gets away from the catcher, and he's thrown out at first. So that's a strikeout on Calderon, and that's out number 2. Marticarena will step to the plate. Nobody on for the Diamonds here. And the bottom of the fourth inning, they've got Marticarena at the plate with 2 down. The pitch to him, swings and he fouls it at the plate. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. I was out talking about the Diamonds and their clubhouse. There's a lot of talk about the Giants having such a miserable season and how their clubhouse atmosphere has changed dramatically, or it used to be so much fun, and now people are somber or whatever, just quiet. And there's been a lot of theories about that. Here's the pitch to Marticarena. It's a strike. I mean, is it what comes first, a happy clubhouse and a happy score, or is it a bad place in the standings and a sad clubhouse? I think there's probably more relationship to the standings to the clubhouse than the clubhouse to the standings, if you know what I mean. But the Giants, the Diamonds clubhouse is a very happy, friendly, buddy-like place. And every person we've talked to today, we're doing interviews that will be available on BayAreaSports.tv and YouTube with each of these players to get a sense of who they are and where they're from. Every one of them said their favorite part about being the Pittsburgh Diamond is the other players, and Aaron Miles, the manager. So that's a good sign about the spirit in the clubhouse. Right now, they are playing with their backs to the wall. They've got to win the last 5 games of the first half of the season to be the champions. Sonoma just needs 1 win of those last 5 games, and they're all against each other. Marticarena up here with a 1-2 count, 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 4th inning. Plaza looks at the baseball and now looks at the plate. And the 1-2 pitch. And he lifts this one high and foul and out of play, and the count will stay at 1-2. One ball, two strikes. The 1-2 pitch from Scott Plaza. And he hits this one high and foul, and it's going to be still 1-2. Stompers 1, Diamonds 1. They both scored in the third inning. Stompers took the first game of the series last night to put themselves in a position to clinch the championship tonight, tomorrow, anytime they can get one win. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to the right side off of Marty Carrena's bat. It bounds right up to the second baseman Yasuda, who throws him out to end the fourth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of 4 full, the score tied at 1.
Anything to drink?
Yes. Well, we should have their text on. That's the tricky part of that grill, isn't it? You know, when you go to a baseball game, you walk in and you're immediately hungry. I don't know what it is, but you walk to the stadium, you immediately want to eat.
Diane's Embroidery and Graphics is the official gear provider of the Pittsburg Diamonds. The same high-quality products they produce for Diamonds fans can be made to promote your team or cause. T-shirts, polo shirts, patches, coffee mugs, practically anything that can be turned into a promotional material. By Diane's Embroidery and Graphics, the possibilities are endless, and the cost is affordable. You can find them online at dianesembroidery.com.
We're going to inning number 5. If you're expecting a laugher in any of these games, you're not getting it. Last night's game was 1-0 for 9 innings. Ended that way tonight. We're going to the 5th inning. The score is tied at 1. Top of the 5th inning right now for Travis Blackley to face these Sonoma Stompers, and he will be facing the bottom of the order. Again, Mesa Mayadira, Yuki Usada, and Matt Hibbert. Those were the people who caused all the problems in this game. That pitch low for a ball, and it's 1-0. The troublemakers are coming up. They got on base. They got a single. Mayadira did. Yasuda had a home run called back, then got a single. Then Hibbert got on due to an error. Loaded the bases. Here's the pitch. A ball. Counts 2-0 now to Mayadira. Two balls, no strikes. 2-0 pitch. 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes. Speedy Mayadira, you don't want him on the base pass if you don't have to have him there, and walking him is a bad idea. 3 balls and no strikes. The 3-0 pitch. Strike the ball. Ball 4. Mayadira's on there 4 straight balls, and he walks to lead off this 5th inning. Yuki Yasuda will step up here. That's quite a moment. He hit that ball hard last in the 3rd inning. It went all the way out of this ballpark, but the difference was some people felt it went in front of the foul pole as it went foul. Some people say it curved around the foul pole as a home run, and that most important part of that group was the home plate umpire. He called it a home run. Then he took it off after some consultation, he took it off the board. Yasuda bounced as a sacrifice. Throws to first to get Yasuda, does Blackley. On to second goes Mayadira. And so for the 2nd inning in a row, the Stompers play for the 1 run with the sacrifice of for the first hitter who got on base. Last time it was Carranzo, but they singled. This time it is Mayadira who got on with a walk. He is now at second with 1 out. Matt Hibbert comes up with a runner at second. 1 out. Last inning, the strategy did not work for the Stompers. They did not score, but they are sticking with the strategy, and they just successfully sacrificed Mayadira over to second base. Blackley's pitch to Yasuda. High for a ball. It's 1-0. There's Bautista at third base. The 1-0 pitch. Blackley taking his time, looking back at second. Now comes to the plate, and that ball's fouled back right at us. 1 ball and 1 strike. That sounded like it was about to hit us in the face. It was. 1 ball, 1 strike here. 1 out. Mayadira with his lead at second base, looking back in the outfield. There he is. Garcia protecting his face from the sun. I don't think he's doesn't want to be seen on TV. I think his glove is up there to keep his eyes out of the sun. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed for a strike, and it's 1-2. That looked like the shortstop who didn't want to be identified. That's his glove covering his face. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yasuda back in the batter's box. Blackley, he's got all kind of interest at Mayadira at second base. And comes to the plate. This ball is hit to the left side, but foul. Bautista gets it in foul territory, and we'll go back and start all over again at 1-2. On deck is Matt Hibbert. Oh, I'm sorry. Matt Hibbert's up to the plate. This has all been Matt. I don't know why I kept your suit up there all that time. Matt, thank you. Matt Hibbert is hitting and has 1 and 2 count and 1 out. I look back at second. Mayadira with his lead. The pitch to Hibbert. Ball 1. And ball 2. Its count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a look at Mayadira and the left side of the Diamonds infield. Bautista at third and Garcia at short, and Mayadira goes back to second as Hibbert says, "This is taking too long. I'm getting out of the batter's box." Now he steps in. 2-2 count. This is taking a long time. McKeon wants to go talk to Blackley to see if they're on the same page, or maybe just break that moment. You know, sometimes it's all been frozen in time for too long, and you must want to change the whole mindset. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hibbert, the number 9 hitter, although I'm not sure that means in this lineup what it means. Or in a lot of lineups here, they seem to have a different attitude about number 9 hitters. There's a pitch, and that gets low and inside. It hits Hibbert, I think, and he is going to be on at first base, hit by a pitch. So Hibbert is on at first. Mayadira is on at second. We're going to go to the top of the lineup now for the Sonoma Stompers. Brendan Metzger will step up here. He's struck out and hit into a double play so far today. He does have an RBI. I don't know if you get a double play on RBI. I'll have to check that. But 1-1 is the score, and he's the one who drove in that run with a double play ball in the 3rd inning. Now he's got 2 men on and 1 out in the top of the 5th. And this ball is grounded to the left side to Garcia. To second, 1. To first. You got him. In time. It was a delayed call, but they say at first base, and the first base umpire there on top of it, that it got there in time. Here's a replay. Here's a ground ball, left side. Garcia comes in. He makes the play. There's a second for 1, and on to first. And, boy, that was close, and I don't think I would have called him safe. But that's an out, and we're going to the bottom of the 5th inning with the score 1-1.
That was the first pitch, right? Hang on. 7, 11. No. I had 57. I got him at 69. Let's count it again. Look. 42, 57 plus 7. 57 plus 12. Oh, that's 12. That's 12. 57
Well, I'm ready for Nathan's Hot Dogs next 4th of July for the hot dog eating contest. Because I was hungry, and I just ate my hot dog. And that was a good hot dog. Right here from the Diamonds Diner, or Winter Chevrolet Park. We're going to the bottom of the 5th.
Gerald Bautista.
Gilbert Bautista will step in here with the Diamonds and the Stompers tied at 1. For the second night in a row, we are seeing a pitching demonstration from both teams. Bautista swings halfway at that first pitch, and it's a strike. 0-1. Scott Plaza has given up 1 run on 4 hits. He has kept the Diamonds out of scoring position for the most part. This pitch to Bautista is swung on and missed, and the count goes to 0-2. And thank you. No balls, 2 strikes. Leading off the 5th inning here with Bautista and the 0-2 pitch. That's a ball, and it's 1-2. So we saw that replay just if you were watching on BayAreaSports.tv. As we went to break last time, that pitch is a ball outside. It's 2-2. And I think if they had replay on these umpires' decisions, that would not have been called out at first base. They called him out. It's an interesting concept now that we've had a home run taken away from the Sonoma Stompers after it was called a home run. Here's the pitch. Ball 3. 3-2. Isaac Weinrich ready to fly that ball down to third baseman as one does when it's a strikeout. But he heard the ball call and he stopped. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So it's a full count to Bautista to lead off the 5th. Swung on it, hits it to center field. Is going to get there. Yes, barely best by the glove of Mayadira at short, who gave chase but could not quite get there. And now Bautista leads off this 5th inning with a single. So Plaza on 3-2. Bautista able to handle the pitch. Bounds it right up the middle of Mayadira. Just stopped. Just couldn't quite get it. Now Bautista with his lead. And McKeon is up here, who singled his last time up. This time he squares the bunt. He pulls it back. He takes the ball. 1-0. So the Diamonds are now going to play for the 1-run strategy. And that's something that Miles always says in the pregame show. He's going to decide as the game's situation calls for. McKeon bounced this one to the left side. It's picked up by Moralora, who throws him out. On to second safely is Bautista with the sacrifice. And so the Diamonds pull that one off. They've got a runner at second with 1 out. And the top of the order is coming up, and Jose Garcia.
Number 1, Jose Garcia.
Garcia steps in here with a tie ball game. Bautista on second base. He has struck out and popped out to the second baseman so far today. Tie ball game. The pitch to Garcia. A strike, and it's 1-1. You've got a runner at second. The Diamonds looking to break this tie, get their first lead in the series if they can get Bautista home. The pitch swim. Swung on, hit left to the right side, and it's going to be in foul territory. Scott David back there, and he makes the catch for out number 2. So Garcia fouls out, and Valdez will step in here. Valdez doubled his last time up.
Now batting, second baseman, number 2, Otomar Valdez.
In the first inning, he flew out to center field, and then he doubled the last time up, drove in a run, and that's why we're tied at 1-1. Two outs, runner at second. Number 2 at the plate. There's a pitch. High, ball 1. Diamonds and Sonoma will be out here again tomorrow night at 6:30. You can get your tickets at diamondsproball.com. And then, of course, there's a whole schedule for the second half of the season. I sometimes feel we talk so much about the end of the first half. It's almost like the year's going to end. But no, it just starts all over again next Tuesday. Here's the pitch. Strike. And it's 1-1. The Diamonds will obviously play for the second half championship beginning on Tuesday, and everybody will be 0-0. So it's an interesting second season to baseball. Foul out. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Diamonds, though, have advantages this first half of the season that they need to take advantage of. They have 25 out of 39 games at home. So that means in the second half, they're going to have 25 games on the road and 14 at home. And that's a big difference. They will get to meet these Sonoma Stompers a lot more than they did in the first half. They played Vallejo and San Rafael all the time. And beginning with this pitch is fouled off, they played the first 3 games against Sonoma here. And it wasn't until last week on Tuesday that they played Sonoma again, and that was there. And they get these 2 series now, this one at home, and then they will go to Sonoma on Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Valdez here with a runner at second and 2 down. Bottom of the 5th inning. 1-1 ball game. Sonoma trying to win the championship. The Diamonds trying to stay alive. The count is now 2-2. The next pitch was high, and it's 2-2 on Valdez. A quiet, lovely night, perfect temperature here in Pittsburgh. 2-2. Look back at Bautista and the pitch. Swung on, and this one is lifted high to the left side. Metzger comes over. He says he's got it, and he does. So that's out number 3 here in the bottom of the 5th. The Diamonds get a base runner, but nothing else. At the end of 5 full, the score 1-1.
We can't miss you. We can't miss you. All good.
Top of the 6th inning here at Winter Chevrolet Stadium, and it's still 1-1. These two teams playing about as tight a ball game as you can play last night and tonight. Last night 1-0 for 9 innings. It ended that way. Tonight it's 1-1. They both scored in the 3rd inning. So Matt Lococo will step up here for the Sonoma Stompers. No, it won't. Brendan. Yeah. Matt Lococo will step up here at the top of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch to Lococo. He squares the bunt and pulls it back takes a ball, 1-0. So that's an interesting strategy. Batista's trying to charge in from third. And that will keep the infielders for the Diamonds alert to that possibility, which is, of course, part of what he's trying to do. This pitch to Lococo, no bunt. Outside, low, ball 1, ball 2. 2-0. The wind now blowing straight out here at Winter Chevrolet Stadium with a strong breeze. It has a flag headed that way. There you see it. And if you're watching BayAreaSports.tv, here's the pitch. A strike, and it's 2-1. So now Lococo, you can see, has got one of those guards over his left ankle there. And that's the ankle, of course, out in front. Sometimes the ball will bounce off and hit people in the shin. We've seen a lot of that. It also hits their instep a lot, which is very painful. There's the 2-1 pitch. This pitch is fouled off, and it's 2-2. There you get the Sonoma bullpen behind Miyoshi, the manager, and he'll go pick up that ball and get it back in. 2-2 count. Travis Blackley giving up 1 run tonight. He gave up no runs last time. He's just done an outstanding job on the mound for the Pittsburgh Diamonds. Here's the pitch. This one is a little fouled away, and it's 2-2 still. Top of the 6th inning. Last time he went 5 innings, so he's already gone farther than he did last week. Blackley set and comes to the plate. High for a ball. And so now the count goes full here to Matt Lococo, 3-2. Lococo flew out to center in the first inning and grounded out to Garcia back in the third. Three-two pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's out number 1 here in the 6th. Carranza will come up here. He flew out in the first, got a single to lead off the 4th inning, and then was sacrificed to second where he died at that point. 2 strikeouts after that sacrifice, and there were no more runs. Carranza stepping in here with 1 out and nobody on. Top of the 6th. Blackley, the left-hander against the right-hander Carranza. That is a ball. It's 1-0, missed on the outside. The Diamonds pitcher from Melbourne, Australia. Former major leaguer. Played for a number of teams. As I mentioned, here's a pitch. Carranza takes a strike and is 1-1. The former major leaguer played for San Francisco, and he played for the A's. And while he was with San Francisco, someone on the internet was selling T-shirts that says Orange and Blackley. And they made it, and that T-shirt has made it to Winter Chevrolet Stadium tonight. That pitch is outside for a ball. It's 2-1. Woman said her boyfriend gave it to her because she's a big Travis Blackley fan. There's a boyfriend with a good attitude. 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch. Ball 3-1 to Carranza. The big hitter for the Stompers. The 3-1 pitch. Strike 2. 3-2. Carranza on his way to first base, and then he was brought back to reality by the home plate umpire, Rodriguez, who said, no, you're not going anywhere, not at the moment anyway. Blackley kicks and delivers. Fouled back, and the count stays at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Carranza with 8 home runs on the season. That makes him tied for 3rd place with Wes Wallace and of the Diamonds and Nick Akins of the Admirals. Three balls, 2 strike count. Nobody on, 1 out. Top of the 6th inning, Carranza takes time out to get out of the batter's box. Blackley takes a long time between pitches sometimes. And then the batter takes time out, which makes it a longer time between pitches. 3-2 count. This pitch is fouled at the plate, and it's going to stay at 3-2. On deck for Sonoma is Weinrich. He has struck out and had a sacrifice bunt. Three and two count. To the plate. Carranza hits this one high and foul and out of play. So Carranza and Blackley are having a battle here. At this point in the game, it helps up the pitch count. We've got a pitcher who's going to the sixth inning at this point. And then you have someone fouling off 4 or 5 pitches with a full count. That's a lot of time on one batter. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on a bounded left side, foul. And we'll stay at 3-2. Bat boy brings in more balls because a lot of them have been fouled out over there. The bat boy racing back to safety in the dugout. 3-2 count, 1 out. High pop-up. And Valdez says he's got it right in front of second base, but Garcia will take it out back towards shortstop, and he makes the catch. Wow. Wasn't sure who had that one. In fact, it looked like Valdez was calling for it, but Garcia was 6-7 feet away, and he made the catch behind his head. And so I think Valdez pointed at the flag saying the wind impacted that. They're having a good conversation about it, Garcia and Valdez, because I don't think Garcia was happy the fact that he didn't have that. Well, he caught the ball, but it looked like Valdez had called him off and then wasn't anywhere near the ball. That is finally Carranza out with a pop out to the shortstop. And Weinrich steps in here, and he hits the first pitch of one hopper to Galletti, steps on the bag, and that does it for your sixth inning. A long battle by Carranza, and Blackley is followed by a first pitch swinging Weinrich, who gets out of the ground ball to Galletti, and so we're done with the sixth inning. Nothing across for the Stompers, and we're going to the bottom of the sixth with the score tied at 1. For Blackley.